I hope you guys have been enjoying my episodic reviews of the Fallout TV show. I'm about halfway through the series right now. I'll get to more episodes and more reviews in the coming weeks. Probably more like week because I can't stop watching. It's so damn good. But what I love so much about the show is that it's introducing people to the Fallout universe, a universe that I have loved for over a decade. Really almost 20 years at least, right? You really think when Fallout 3, that's when I really got turned on to the series. I love that people are learning about this universe that I have been such a fan of for so long. When you think about all of the ancillary stuff that happens in the universe, when you think about the idea behind the bombs, and you think about the idea behind all these pockets of humanity fighting and trying to, endure against each other and super mutants and ghouls and whatever else is out there, right? And who gets to keep control and who is in control of this experiment and so on and so forth. It really makes your mind race. So I talked to a lot of coworkers and they're all telling me, hey man, tell me more about this universe. And I'm telling them, and then I tell them that there's a game and they're actually interested. And they're like, I want to go play that game. And that's what makes me the most excited, because as a gamer, I want the industry to thrive and survive forever, right? I can't, obviously, I don't make games. I've tried to get my hand into making games where, I tried to go work for Bungie, and that turned out to be a horrible and beautiful disaster. I did a long video about that. If you're curious about it, check it out in the description below, because I think you'll learn a lot about how gaming culture has been really evolving and maybe why there's so many layoffs. But the reality is, I want to give back to the community. That's why I do this channel. I don't make a lot of money. I don't get a lot of subscribers. I do it because I love gaming and I want to see it thrive and succeed. So when I hear other people who aren't even gamers, or who are gamers who have never checked Fallout out before and want to check out Fallout, it gets me excited. So I figured let's do a little fact finding and just see how much other gaming television shows have actually moved the needle and whether or not this phenomenon is actually true. And I was actually quite surprised by what I saw. So here we have The Last of Us, which debuted on January 15th, 2023. Now, unfortunately, The Last of Us is the only one that I can't get actual facts on, because it wasn't available on Steam at the time. Steam readily and openly publishes their numbers. Unfortunately, it is what it is, right? But we did find out that in numerous articles, this one here says The Last of Us Part 1 jumped from 36 on its bestseller chart in December to number 11 the month the series premiered. And you can see some of the headlines here. Sales increased dramatically, a huge boost to sales. The Last of Us sales jumped 238% after television show. I mean, this is a big deal, guys. So it absolutely does move the needle. So when you release a video game television show that is good, we'll talk about that in just a little bit more detail in a moment. When you release something that looks good, right? People are interested. It brings people into the universe. People want to know more about it, experience it, and back to my original goal, it brings awareness to the franchise and to the culture, and that's what I want. Let's take a look at the next one. This is the Cyberpunk television show that was called Edge Runners. It released on Netflix. It was an animated series, and it released on September 13th, 2022. Let's go ahead and take a look at, this is the Steam Charts website for Cyberpunk 2077. You could see it's had its ebbs and flows, right? I mean, the game came out to pretty abysmal reviews and then slowly started to trickle in a little bit better. But like I said, Edge Runners came out in September of 2022. Look at that spike. Look at that spike. Holy smokes. It gained 32,000 concurrent players, a whopping 315% increase, and it drove its peak player count at the time to over 136,000 simultaneous players. This is just on Steam. This doesn't account for console sales, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation, or if it was available on Good Old Games. We didn't see it there either, so we don't know this. This is just on Steam, but clearly indicative that a good product moves the needle. Let's go and take a look at Fallout, as I've been talking about, doing these weekly episodes for you guys, or installments rather, of all the wonderful things. Fallout TV show, critical darling, sitting at an 8.7 IMDb, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. It released April 10th, 2024 in its entirety. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers. So here you can see this is Fallout Game of the Year edition. Now, again, you have to understand that this is an old game, guys, but you can see in the last 30 days it actually did increase. And I know you're probably saying, Jim, come on, you are making a mountain out of a molehill. It went up a whopping 115%. It only resulted in 700 more players. And I would agree with you, but I want you to notice that the peak player count increased 6,000 people. That means people who own the game, who didn't play it, went back and started playing it because of the television show. That makes me very happy. But it wasn't just limited to Fallout 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at Fallout 4. Fallout 4, different story. Much more recent game. A lot of improvements from Fallout 3. Whether or not you like 3 or 4 better is irrelevant, but it was the last true single-player installation of a Fallout franchise to date. Look at those numbers. 8,000 additional players, 58% gain, brought the peak player count from 25,000 to 93,000. That is almost 70,000 more people playing this game today that were not playing it before the television show. We'll go and take a look at Fallout 76, which is very, very polarizing. I've done a lot of videos on this game, not for me. Again, look at what happened after the television show came out. 5,000 new people. The peak player count went from 12,000 to 43,000. Fun little fact, there are more people playing Fallout 4 right now than Fallout 76. And again, this is just on sales with Steam. We can't track all the other places you can buy this on consoles. Now, I bring it to the grand finale, the game that is near and dear to my heart, the game that I love, good old Halo and Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, the television show, well, Halo, not the Halo Infinite television show, Halo, the television show, released in March 24, 2022. I liked it, but definitely not as thrilling or high marks as the Last of Us TV show, which won awards, or the Cyberpunk television show, or even the Fallout television show. And let's see what happened in March 2022 to see how much that television show actually moved the needle. And it didn't. So we were already in a rapid descent at this point, boys and girls. We were in a massive rapid descent. You notice that the peak player count plummeted from its launch. It dropped and dropped and dropped some more. How far will it drop and how far will it go? Nobody knows. But as you can see there, not very good numbers at all. Now, you do see little snippets of green here. You do see small bursts of when something actually happened. These are all related to the big events they had going on, whether it be the invasion event, or infestation, or whether it be the last kind of season pass that they had, or the Yappening 2, or the cyber challenge. You're seeing little snippets of burst there, but not anywhere near along the lines of this kind of gain, or not anywhere near along the lines of this gain, or getting these types of numbers. You're not seeing that anymore. And it's disappointing. And I think it just goes to show that when these producers and the executives are putting out a bad product that is related to an IP, it hurts the IP in so many more ways. Every one of those people who is now interested in Fallout 4, that bought a new copy, that are checking it out for the first time, are also people that are going to go buy the merchandise. They're also the people that are going to go buy the fan art. They're also the people that are going to talk about it and keep the legend and the legacy of the game alive for the next generation of players. And if you're sitting around as a game executive and you're thinking about what's the next big game you want to make, and you're looking at your portfolio of all the various IPs and products you have, and you think, a lot of people are still wearing Fallout shirts and a lot of people are talking about the game. We need to elevate that. We need to put more people on that game and we need to make it a better product. Instead, you have a game like Halo, which is kind of dying off, and you're looking at it and you go, you know what? We'll just put a couple people on that because it's clearly not going to gain us the value back. The fact that people are buying a 10-year-old game and playing it in droves tells you that the product manages to hold itself up under its own weight after the fact that it's an aged product. It tells you that the product is managing to hold itself up against everything out there that is vying for your attention. And it also manages to tell you that when you put out something in an extended universe that feeds into a game that currently exists, well, people who are inclined to be a fan of that universe will go pursue it in other media like the video game media, which is exactly what I want, going back to my original point. So for everybody out there who's worth a damn, who has any say at all in any game development of any sort of ancillary media, whether it be books, whether it be television, whether it be podcasts, whether it be fan art, whether it be contests, tournaments, anything, keep in mind the brand that you desire to promote will directly be impacted by your results in that particular event or in that particular task. And it just pisses me off so much, if you couldn't tell, that we had a prime opportunity in Halo to make it into something great and to make the TV show into the next best thing. And while I salvage things out of it, skimming through the Halo encyclopedia, trying to pull out nuggets of lore from all the books I've read and all the comics that I've read and all the expanded research I've done on the universe, it can't move the needle. And that's all that matters in this world. Moving the needle, moving those sales. The fact that Fallout is blowing up again is awesome. It shouldn't be limited to Fallout. It shouldn't be limited to Cyberpunk. It shouldn't be limited to Last of Us. So the next time somebody wants to make a video game movie or a video game television show, keep in mind the outcome. I didn't even talk about the Uncharted movie. I didn't talk about the Assassin's Creed movie because guess what? They didn't do very well. Now, that's it for today's video. I've said my piece. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.